Okay, we are now live on YouTube.
And we're on our website. We can start.
All righty. Good morning and welcome to our Queensborough President Hybrid Land Use Public Hearing. This hearing is taking place both in person in the Borough President's Conference Room at 120-55 Queens Boulevard in Kew Gardens and on our website at www.queensbp.org. For those who wish to testify virtually and haven't already pre-registered to do so, please visit www.queensbp.org/land use. If you are attending our public hearing in person, please see the receptionist to sign up for public speaking time if you have not already done so. Please note your opportunity to speak will follow those who are pre-registered. Written testimony is welcome from those who are unable to testify. All written testimony must be received by 5 p.m. today and may be submitted by email to planning@queensbp.org or by conventional mail sent to the office of the Queensborough President at 120-55 Queens Boulevard, room 226, Kew Gardens, New York, 11424. I'm joined by my planning staff today, Vicky Garvey, Lisa Atkins, and Sola Alasunde. Lisa, please review how this public hearing will proceed.
The public hearing shall be conducted in the following manner. The applicant will be called to give a description of the zoning action requested, an explanation of the proposed project, and respond to any questions from the chair. The floor will then be opened for public speakers. Each speaker will have 3 minutes. A signal will be heard and notice will be displayed when 3 minutes have passed. When you are called, please identify yourself for the record and if you are formally speaking as a representative or member of a group. The calendar number or application you are speaking about and whether you are for or against the item. Then you may begin your testimony. At the discretion of the chair, if there are a large number of speakers on any particular item, it may be put on second call. Speakers for and against that item may also be called to testify on an alternating basis. Please note, if you are testifying virtually, you must keep your camera on during your testimony and display your name accurately on Zoom. If at any point you have technical issues, please let our planning staff know in the chat and we will assist you. Thank you for your cooperation.
Thank you, Lisa. You have just been advised on the proceedings of this hearing and how it will be conducted. Please keep your comments focused on the application you're speaking about, and please stay within the allotted 3 minutes. When you hear the signal, please wrap up and finish your comments. Of course, I reserve the right to ask speakers for clarifications or further information regarding the applications or comments. Lisa, please call the first calendar item.
Calendar items number 1 and 2 are related items. ULLURP number 230041 ZMQ and ULLURP number N230042 ZRQ. The applicant is TCB Beach Channel Drive Limited Partnership. Affected Community Board number 14. Applicant, please begin.
Good morning. Good morning. I'm Caroline Harris, partner at Goldman Harris II at WMBE, and we represent the applicant on this project. It's a pleasure to be appearing before you this morning, President Richards. And I would like to turn this presentation over to our Planning and Development Specialist, Diane Leibs, who will walk you through the rezoning and its rationale. Then Alan Mogadon, who's an architect for the project, will be presenting the design. And Jesse Battis, who is the vice president of the applicant for the region in New York and New Jersey, will be closing for us with any other comments by TCB and to address any questions that you may have. And the entire team is available to answer questions, including Aaron Werner, who is from AKRF, but who's not planning to make a presentation. So now I'm turning it over to Diane Leibs to move forward with the presentation.
Hi, everyone. I'm Diane, and I will be speaking with you today about the Ocean Crest project, which is a proposed rezoning from R41 to R6A. So TCB, the community builders, they're the developers for this project. They're a leading national community development organization anchored by nonprofit housing with experience nationally. They also have experience within New York City, including the Beach 21st Street project, which is a project in the Far Rockaways as well. The proposed project is about 91,000 square feet. It's a residential building with community facility space, and there will be 100% affordable housing proposed with 106 dwelling units. There are 52 parking spaces proposed, 27 of which are required, and 25 additional spaces are available within the existing cellar of the building, the other existing building that's on our zoning lot. The land use rationale for this proposed rezoning is because it is close to mass transit. It's directly across from a large 40-acre Bayswater Park. The proposed building is sustainable and flood resilient, and the proposed rezoning would bring the existing buildings back to zoning compliance. TCB has done a lot of community outreach to date and has received written support from multiple local organizations, including Frank, RDRC, Canva, Ocean Bay CDC, and 11 local residents. We've presented as part of the ULURP process to Queens Community Board 14 during their full board meeting, where we received 2 favorable votes and 2 abstentions. The proposed actions associated with this project are a map amendment from R41 to R6A, a text amendment with MIH mapping option 1, and the waterfront revitalization program certification. This site is directly across from a large park, which is part of our land use rationale. It's also on a wide street, Bay 32nd Street, and is at the intersection of that wide street with Beach Channel Drive, which is a wide, narrow street. To the north and east of the site are a lot of residential buildings within residential districts. Directly to the south of our site is another R6A district, which would create a bow tie effect with our proposed R6A district. South of that are R72 districts, R6A, etc., and a few taller buildings, including the 20-story CG towers and a few 7- and 8-story buildings as well. This project is nearby a lot of transit options, and these visuals show the existing conditions on the site. So to the left is the existing community facility building that's within the rezoning area on the tax lot adjacent to ours. It's a 5-story, 58-foot tall building. And the image on the right shows the existing building on our zoning lot. That's a 6-story residential building, 59 feet in height. The image to the left shows where the proposed building would be located, which is an existing private parking lot. And again, it's directly across from a large park, Bayswater Park, which would provide a lot of open space for the residents of the proposed building. This rezoning is from R41 to R6A. And this shows the extent of that rezoning. So that includes lot 1, that's that adjacent community facility building. R7 is our zoning lot. And then there's also a small portion of lot 18 that's included in this rezoning area. The existing R41 zoning allows for 0.75 FAR for residential and 2 FAR for community facility. And the proposed R6A would allow for a 3.6 FAR for a residential building with MIH and a 3 FAR for a community facility. The proposed building is about 91,000 square feet, which is a 1.57 FAR. Together with the existing building, that would create an FAR of 3.52, which is less than the 3.6 FAR that's permitted on this zoning lot with the proposed R6A district. Again, this project will be 100% affordable with 50% local preference in leasing. The unit mix will be from studio to 3-bedroom, and the proposed AMI will be from 30% to 80%. The median income for the census tract in which this project is located is around $67,000, which is about 60% AMI. And the census tracts adjacent to this site range from median incomes of $48,000 to around $100,000, which is the equivalent of about 40% AMI to 80% AMI. So the income ranges that are proposed for this building are comparable to the existing income ranges that are in this larger area. TCB has ambitious MWBE and local hiring goals, including 35% MWBE utilization and 30% local employment for new hires. TCB has experience reaching for and achieving these ambitious goals, as shown in their nearby Beach 21st Street project, where they achieved 40% MWBE utilization and 67% local employment for new hires. They're intending to provide neighborhood benefits, including OSHA training and career development opportunities, discount broadband internet, and a ground floor community facility use, which is potentially proposed to be a daycare. And with that, I'll turn it over to Alan Wogadam, who's the architect for this project.
Good morning, Borough President. Good morning, everyone. My name is Alan Mogadam. I'm the project architect, as Diane just mentioned. I'm with Urban Architectural Initiatives. To start with, Diane, if we go to the next slide, this is an overhead view from Baywater Park looking at the proposed building. And first and foremost, we wanted to address the flood resiliency issues that is prevalent in the neighborhood, and note that we have raised the building first floor by over 3 feet to above the established floodplain to take into account the sea level rise to the year 2080. The main entrance to the building is accessed with a nicely landscaped stairs and an integrated accessible ramp that you see at the corner. To the right, the community facility space is directly accessed from Bay 32nd Street, which is also the corridor leading to the A train up the block. And the parking entries on the far left, accessing the at-grade parking, which furthers the resiliency goals of the building by minimizing the impervious surfaces that would exacerbate a flood and minimize the water going into the sewer. It also leads to the parking to the cellar of the building on our zoning lot. We'll see this a little bit further on the slides, but I just wanted to kind of point out that we're providing, Diane, if you go back one more slide, that we're providing green spaces for the tenants on the setback roof on the 7th floor, which is adjacent to the laundry and recreation room for their use. And they have views to the Baywater Park. The tenants are also benefited by the park as an amenity for them across the street, as well as they will, and as well as the park is benefited by providing security with eyes on the street by our tenants. Diane, the next slide. So these are some of the resiliency features and sustainability features, which are plenty on this project. We have we're proposing a very efficient building envelopes, HVAC system, lighting, cooling, and as I mentioned, the flood resiliency aspects of the project that we're looking at. Next slide, please, Diane. So this is an illustrative rendering looking from the ground level at Bayswater Park. This shows the various setback, terraces, and high quality materials we're using to provide an elegant yet understated building that fits well with its neighbors. Next slide. Here's the site plan, and again, we're just showing our various setbacks and how the building relates to existing 5- and 6-story buildings. Next slide. This is our first floor plan showing the community facility and residential entry. You can see that we have minimized the first floor footprint to limit it to what is just necessary for the residential and the community facility space to maximize the amount of parking we could provide on the site. Next slide. This is just the upper floor plans, which you can see we have a mix of studios, 1- and 2-bedroom units. And then the next slide is our 7th floor plan, which contains the building's community and recreational facility. And this is what I was talking about earlier, where we have 2 separate terraces accessed by the community room and the exercise room and the laundry room to have the tenants benefit from the open space that we're providing on the building. And that's it for the architectural presentation. We're available with any questions that you may have.
Thank you. And obviously we have history together, and that shows because you answered a lot of my questions. Just go back through the AMI breakdown again.
Sure. So we're proposing 30% AMI through 80% AMI. And the unit mix is shown in the chart on the upper right corner. So a range of studios through 3-bedroom apartments are provided.
And is there room to increase the 30% AMI band? A few more units?
I think Jesse may be able to speak more to that.
I sure can. Good morning, Borough President. Jesse Batis, Regional Vice President for Community Builders. This is the proposed AMIs that we put together based on the current pro forma. There's certainly room to increase affordability. Some of the rationale of how we came to this was based on the census tracts of the neighborhoods. We wanted to really kind of emphasize that this census tract is sort of transitional between different neighborhoods at this crux where it becomes more affluent as you go further north towards the bay, a little lower income as you go further south. So there's certainly room within that affordability matrix, or we could increase affordability if that's.
And I used to live up the block here, so I know the neighborhood relatively well, and certainly I understand those census tracts, but there are a lot of folks within that 30% AMI band as well who could use quality housing based on some of the developments they're living in currently. And then we have public housing on Beach 40th Street. So it'd be nice to see some of those residents be able to transition if they would like into quality affordable housing. So just want to make sure I preface that in saying that that's why the 30% breakdown may be an increase in it would be helpful here. And then just go through, and I know we've had history, and I'm very happy to see your employment numbers from the last development we did off of Mott Avenue, your first development site in the Rockaways. And so just take me through again what we're going to do here. And then, obviously we have history, so we're going to want to see these commitments in writing as well. And then just speak about the community-based organizations that you're working with and what that strategy looks like on this specific development in terms of local hiring, MWBE, and outreach.
Absolutely. So we were, pretty excited about what we were able to achieve over at the Beach 21st development. 40% MWBE utilization. The city requires 30%. We set an internal goal for 35% that we agreed to in writing with the city. So we met and exceeded that goal. We think we can do the same thing here. Similarly, for local employment, we look to get 30% local employment for new hires. We developed that project under COVID conditions, which really was very challenging in terms of getting folks into job training programs, but we still managed to train folks, and 67% of our new hires did come from the community board. We do think that 30% is 100% achievable. We always shoot to go above and beyond. We worked with RDRC for that local training program there. Our intention would be to work with them again for this development. We've also been working with Frank to figure out ways that we could invest in their micro grant projects that they've been working on other developments, where we can get money out to local nonprofit groups for different services that they're doing. So really, as a nonprofit, we try to set ourselves aside here as being community-based. As you know, my family's from Rockaway originally. I live in Long Beach. I care about this community a great deal. And our goal here really is to expand what TCB does as an organization, which is really to build and sustain strong communities where all people can thrive. Pursuant to that, and this is news, we just received a large grant through a sister CDFI our organization is affiliated with, which we believe should bring somewhere around $2 million for commercial fit out at Beach 21st Street for local community organizations. So we're really excited about that because we think it expands what we can do and get more groups into that building space, which is right now about 2/3 pre-leased. So we're really working to try to, maintain these commitments that we made up front and show folks that we want to be a community partner here and that we are a community partner here. One other piece just to note here, free broadband will be provided for the building residents. We're in the process of building out a network which started at Beach 21st Street with an organization that provides broadband for large buildings. We think there's an opportunity to expand that to the other multifamily buildings that are nearby and provide them with a discounted broadband rate, somewhere around $20 a month to get access to high quality broadband. And finally, again, we're really excited about a 7,000 square foot daycare center that we're bringing to Beach 21st Street. We just got our approvals through. We're looking to sign a contract to do the build out now. We want to expand our operation with that operator. That group is Exposure Foundation. They're based out of Richmond Hill. They have currently have a resident school, a community school engagement liaison contract for one of the local schools here. They want to continue to grow in Rockaway as well. So that's a proposal, but that community service facility can be used for other nonprofits, other uses if it's medical or otherwise. that would fill that need. So, really excited about what we can do here, and we want to
And
continue.
I don't know if I heard you right. No commercial here, right? Is it no commercial development here, or it's just all community facility ground floor?
Just community facility.
All right, that's good. That's good. All righty. So I'll just look if you can get back to us on the 30% AMI and trying to increase some of the unit count there. That would be good. And then just getting back to us, so in writing on the MWBE and local hiring goals. And then, I'm assuming as you ink your way through the council, there'll be a lot more conversations around, what the grants look like and other programs you're working within the Rockaways from a community building standpoint. So we look forward to hearing a little bit more about that. And then just take me through, will there be shadow impacts? I guess the last question, just take me, and I think I saw that you're gonna have a setback at the site.
Hey, this is Aaron Werner from AKRF. I can speak to shadows if the team would like me to.
Yes.
Go ahead, Aaron.
Sure. So I'm a planner with AKRF. We prepared the seeker environmental assessment statement for this project. The focus of shadows in accordance with the seeker guidelines is really sunlight sensitive resources, and the only sunlight sensitive resource meeting the definition in the seeker manual and the Parks Department's definition is Bayswater Park. So the analysis focused on Bayswater Park, and what we show in the EAS is not a significant adverse impact. It's very early morning shadows in the summer, plenty of other areas of the park to have sun. We were not required to analyze shadows on the street, on neighboring properties that are private. That's just not what seeker looks at. And city planning is the lead agency, along with parks, approved that analysis.
Right. And adjacent to your site, if I'm correct, there's also people park basically on an unpaved pathway. Has Parks talked to you about paving that stretch?
So I can speak to that. We have actually proposed that, and it was our understanding in early conversations that work was already incorporated into their current improvement plan, which has been stalled for reasons that I'm not completely clear on.
Right.
We're
We got
certainly
50 million in the park, right? Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but we're certainly engaged. We've looked for different ways we can get money into the community. Frank seemed to be like the simplest way, just because they have a network for distribution. But again, we're here to make sure that money stays in this community and that improvements are going to be accompanying this new development. So we're open to continuing those conversations.
And Frank has a stellar record, so I have no issues with them. And I think for my staff, Vicky, we need to follow up with Parks and Lisa with Parks to find out when we can anticipate that stretch to be repaved directly across the street from their site. With that being said, I don't know if do y'all have questions, any of my staff members, Vicky or Lisa?
No questions for me, and we don't have anyone signed up to publicly testify.
All right. Well, this is a simple hearing because we have a history. So I want to congratulate you. This is a great project, and this is one of those models of development we want to see replicated around the borough. 100% affordable community facility, building with the community. So this is the blueprint of what we want to see as we move ahead. So look forward to the work ahead, and look forward to being at the groundbreaking.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
All right, if there are no members of the public who wish to speak, we now will close out this hearing. We hope everybody enjoyed this beautiful summer day. I know it will be nice in the Rockaways today. Our next scheduled hybrid land use public hearing is scheduled for May 4th, 2023, starting at 9:30 a.m. Look forward to seeing